Hey, Mike, Jacob Nielsen, KSL.com. What are your thoughts on how the team what areas the team has progressed in during this bye week?
Um, it's a good question. We've done a lot within this past week. Um, Not even on the field, but a lot off the field as well. Kind of just we have had a lot of meetings and a lot of player-led stuff that we've kind of just gone back to the basics, I guess you could say. During From the spring, we kind of had a rebuild mindset. I mean, um, we know what winning looks like. We did a lot of that last year. We had some really good leaders. So one spot I think this team has gotten a lot better at in the past week is leadership. A lot more guys stepping up um, into the leadership roles that we need, including myself. And we're going to continue to get better as the year goes on. But I think that's one spot that stood out to me this week, and I think I'm excited for the future because of it.
My Brian Phillips, Big Blue USU Aggie News. When you're talking about guys stepping up leadership wise, is that more of a lead by example type of thing, or some guys stepping up vocally, maybe a little bit of both? How did that go?
It's a lot of bit of both, actually. Um, a lot of bit of both. I mean, guys are stepping up. Guys are stepping up. I don't know vocally that don't use aren't that isn't their I guess persona. They're more example leaders, and they're stepping up and vocally and kind of getting out of their comfort zone. And that's what I think I see a lot of guys doing, including myself. I don't like to say too. I'm not used to saying too much, but I'm working on saying a lot more than I have been, and that's for my brothers. I want them to be the best they can be, and I realize that the team needs me more than just coming up, showing up, and doing my job every day. So I need to speak up when something needs to be said, um, and that's been kind of something I've been trying to work on, and I'm going to continue working on it, and the rest of the team as well.
Hey, Michael Al Lewis from KVNU Radio. You played against UNLV last year in that close game. What do you remember of that game? And it sounds like UNLV is a better football team, and they have a bigger running back than they even had last year, who was a good running back. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, Coach A, he did a great job of preparing us for that game. He told us all week last year that where they were at on paper in terms of their record was not the type of football team that we were going to see going into Vegas, and he was 100% correct. They were a really good football team, and they had been in 5 one-possession games. We knew what kind of game it was going to be. We knew we were going to have to. It was a tough challenge as well as this year, but yeah, I mean, their offense, I mean, is dynamic. I mean, they do a lot of good stuff. They run the ball really well. As you guys saw last year, they had some really good backs. They get in a lot of condensed sets and run away from you in man coverage. So it's a tough challenge, and they do a lot of really good things. And like I said, the team that they were on paper last year wasn't the team we ran into. So I feel like we're more than prepared. We'll be more than prepared going into this game this week, knowing what type of team is going to come in here.
Michael, Jason Turner from the Herald Journal. They have a new receiver this year, a Michigan State transfer, is averaging over 100 yards receiving a game. What do you see from him that maybe gives them a little bit different of a dynamic than they had a year ago?
He's a lot longer than a lot longer than a lot of the guys we saw last year at receiver. Longer, bigger, physical guy that can run as well. So it's a good challenge for us. But we go against that every day in practice. I mean, with Justin McGriff and Brian Cobbs and Xavier Williams, all those guys. I mean, those guys give us a lot of different stuff. I mean, we see guys who are a lot quicker, guys that are a lot bigger and a lot stronger. So we see a lot. I mean, I always say this: I see the best receivers every day in practice than I play all year. So it's a good challenge. I mean, it's different from what we saw last year. There were a lot of shorter, quicker guys, utility guys that motioned and did a lot of stuff in the backfield and stuff like that. So we'll see some true receivers that'll line up every play and give us a good challenge.
Like something that Blake Anderson or Coach Anderson talked a lot about is just leadership and different guys who are stepping up. Are there any individuals that you've seen on your side of the ball that throughout this bye week have really stepped up and been more vocal?
Yeah, guys like Hunter Reynolds, guys like AJ Vongpachan, guys like Byron Vons have been doing a lot. And those have been leaders. Those are guys that have been leaders, but they're trying to do even more than they've been doing, and also encouraging others like myself, other vets like myself, to step into leadership roles as well in our position groups and on the team as a defense as well. But they've been leaders, but they're continuing to doing a great job encouraging guys like me to be a better leader.
I want to ask you also, Mike, obviously some underwhelming performances and disappointment, but there have also been some positives from the defensive end, especially in forcing turnovers and stuff. What are things that you guys have done well these first 3 games of the season that you're hoping to improve upon coming into conference play?
We've done a lot of things well, I think, and it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to see. It's hard to see from the outside looking in, but when we cut the tape on after the games, you could see we do a lot of things well. Our defensive line is playing great, playing amazing. I mean, as a DB, that helps us out so much, and with the man that we play. The amount of men that we play, the defensive line has just done a great job helping us out and getting pressure on the quarterback. Our linebackers are doing a really good job. Like the tackling has been really well. We've been forcing a lot of turnovers. So we've done a lot of really good things, but we're just trying to improve. We're just trying to go 1-0 every day and every rep. That's what we talk about. In practice, even against the scout team, go 1-0 every rep. Do our job to the best of our abilities. We just try to get better every week. But a lot of the things that we've done well, we just try to build on.